Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, I am Tuhindra Chaudhary and I am a master's and entrepreneur from France. So today we are going to discuss about the things that you need to reconsider before you come to France. Moreover, you might have listened to this like France provide lots of quality educations and as well as there are so many good colleges in France. There are low tuition fees in France. You can learn French by while studying in France, and also you can get an opportunity to travel across Europe while you are studying in France. But in this video, we are going to cover up those parts which you need to reconsider before you decide to study in France. So, what are the negative sides of studying in France, guys? So, first of all, don't come to France if you are not prepared to study French. You are coming to France, so bear in mind, guys, like you need to learn French, you need to speak French here, because once you finish your studies you would be looking for the jobs, and to look for jobs which are totally based on English is very less. It's very difficult to get a job if you don't speak French very well. Apart from that, the social life would be very bad. You will see that you would not be able to get integrated into the French society very well. You would not be able to make French friends very easily. They are not comfortable in English. So as I said, learning French is very important. I always used to say this in all of my videos, guys. So here as well I'm saying, so if you're coming to France for studies, keep this tip in mind that you have to learn French. Second thing is, so many students, they decide before they come to France, they imagine that they are going to do some part-time jobs, they are going to get some part-time jobs very easily. But this is not easy, guys. In France, in order to get part-time jobs off campus, like for example in a restaurant, in a bar, or in a store, you need to speak French again for that. It's very difficult to get a job which would pay you at least the minimum wage of France. To get a job in those kind of places without speaking French, it's almost impossible. People end up getting some part-time jobs in Pakistani or Indian restaurants from which they don't even get the minimum wage, so which is just waste of your effort and time. So getting a part-time job off campus is very difficult. Moreover, some students also go to US. They can get some jobs like for example teaching assistant or graduate assistant or research assistant. They can work temporarily under a professor and they can get very good salary for that. But in France, these systems don't work. I have never heard about like if someone is doing a research assistantship under a professor in France. The third thing is French bureaucracy. So if you are not a fan of bureaucracy, then you need to think twice before coming to study in France. French bureaucracy is so complicated and time consuming. For example, in order to open a bank account, you need to go to bank, you need to speak French, you need to explain everything to the bank manager, and you will see that so many paperwork is still being done. Everything is dependent on paperwork. For example, in our country, in India, everything is online. You can open a bank account very easily over there, just if you have a phone and a laptop with you or with internet. But in France, that's not so simple. Moreover, like getting a visa in India is so easy, but in France, when you are going to prolongate or when you are going to renew the same visa, you will face so many difficulties because everything would be in French, as well as the bureaucracy is so complicated. You will also face some difficulties in studies. For example, you are going to see some differences in the grading system of France education. In our country, we used to get scores out of 100, but in France, you will have the maximum score of 20, which looks very easy, but it's not that easy as well. The average score of a class is going to be 12 or 13. In fact, I would say sometimes it is very hard to even pass a subject. So you have to score 10 out of 20 in order to pass the subject, and sometimes it would be very difficult for you to even grab that. Apart from that, you will see that you will be having everyday classes Monday to Friday. Sometimes you will also see that you will be having some project or assignments or a research paper to finish and submit it in the next day, which would be very difficult for you. Looking for jobs in France is very difficult and it's so time taking. As I already said, if you cannot speak French and if you don't have prior work experience, it's going to be so time taking for you to get a job in France. But for that, I always suggest you to keep learning French, keep looking for an internship, because once you get an internship, you can get some work experience. Apart from that, you can also get to know that whether you are interested in that particular field or not. Apart from all these things, you will also see some cultural differences in France. All the shops are closed on Sundays. In fact, all the important shops like grocery stores and pharmacies, they all get closed by 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. at max. So you need to get all your shopping things done. You need to buy the groceries before that. In fact, if you have classes every day, then you will have just Saturday to do the shopping which is necessary for you. Apart from the cultural differences, you will also feel a bit homesick. You might also feel bored because of the weather. It could be depressing sometimes. It is cloudy, it is raining every time. So it could be very difficult for you to stay away from your family in the beginning days. So don't worry guys, these problems can be minimized in certain way. The most important key to unlock all these problems is just to learn French. If you can learn French at a very short amount of time, and if you can mix up with French people, then you will see that you won't feel any homesick. You will not have any problem in administrative part as well. You can take a friend along with you, and moreover, if you can speak French, you can get your things done so easily. So speaking French is one of the most important things that you need to do. You need to think before coming to France to study. There you have it guys. These are some important points that you need to keep in your mind before you even choose to study in France. So guys, please keep learning French. Follow my channel, subscribe to it, because you are going to get some important playlists into this. And guys, we are going to meet in our next video. So till then, au revoir.